Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today for Know Your PTC Support Resources. First off, a couple admin items. If during the presentation you have any questions, there should be a chat box in the lower right-hand corner for GoToWebinar. Feel free to ask questions as we go, and toward the end we would be happy to address them. So thank you for joining us. My name is Hamed Yazdi. We are with Tech-30. That's me in the top. I'm the Business Development Manager for Tech-30, and Dustin Mayfield is one of our application engineers who will be leading this presentation. So just a quick introduction about myself and who we are at Tech-30. We are a value-added reseller for PTC. Okay, we're a platinum partner, which is the highest level of partner you can be. And what does that mean to you? What that means is our goal is to help you not only do business easier with PTC and Tech-30 and access software. I mean, that's all the stuff that, that's part of my job. What I do is I try to help you get your software, get the package it together so that it makes the most sense for your company's use. But we go beyond that in trying to help our customers really solve their engineering challenges. So we provide the software, but in addition to that, we provide the services, the training and support, and really allow you to focus on your goals of design, engineering, whatever it is that you may be doing. And so we would appreciate the opportunity for you to rely on us as well as PTC. So the value for you to work with us is that now you have two levels of support. You have Tech-30 as your first level of support, and Dustin will talk about that in a little more detail, and then you have PTC as a second level of support. If there's anything that we cannot help you with, at least we understand who to go to at PTC. It's a very large company. We will navigate those waters on your behalf with our connections and make sure we can get to you very quickly. So the benefit is we're a smaller company, so we are very agile. We can get to you very quickly. And another benefit is, as a PTC partner, we do have access to a number of customers in different fields and regions, or different industries. So we also have a network of customers, and we like to introduce them to each other whenever it makes sense. We have a large network of people in manufacturing and design and aerospace industries and different industries, and so whenever we see a fit, we can help you expand your network, and we're always looking for ways of helping our customers work together and potentially doing more business together. That's actually the thing that I love the most about my job, is when I get to meet with customers, I'm always thinking of, oh, I have this other customer I can introduce to you, and that has actually led to some deals. And so that's just something I'm very passionate about as a connector. So let's talk a little bit about Dustin. He's going to give an overview of what this presentation is going to be all about. We're very lucky to have Dustin on our team. For any of you who have worked with him, you know his work ethic. He has a work ethic of whatever it takes. He's available at literally all hours. I think I saw him answering some emails at 2 a.m. last night, up early this morning answering some more emails. If you guys need anything on the weekends, emergency support, these are things that we are here to help you with. And so any technical issues you have, Dustin can be your go-to person, and any business-related issues that you have, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. So without further ado, I'm going to give it up to Dustin. Dustin, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. All right, thank you, Hamed.
It's all you, man.
I'm going to go ahead and turn on the webcam here so you guys can all see me. I know some of you, but just so you have an idea of what I look like. So here's some of the items we're going to talk about today. Now, the intent of this webinar, when we were putting this together, we were trying to figure out what is best for all you guys, because we get a lot of questions around these topics. So we want to make sure that you guys know all the resources available to you. Now, you have a whole host of resources, including ourselves, that you can go to. So I'm going to walk through each and every one and tell you how you can access us and how you can access PTC. So the first item we'll talk about is trouble tickets, followed by e-learning. We'll browse into the knowledge base a little bit to learn best practices and some of the documentation inside there. I'll show you the PTC community and how you can find answers from fellow members such as yourself that are actively involved in the community and like to help each other out. I'll talk a little about software management, how you can reconfigure your license, how you can download updates and new software. We'll go through some free online tutorials that you have access to. And at the very end, we'll do a short Q&A for any questions you guys may have during the session. All right, so first, trouble tickets. Now, this is the most commonly asked about item. A lot of times come up where you guys need technical support, and you need to figure out the best avenue to go get that. So we like to say at Tech-30 we're the first line of defense. So there is our number and our support email. Feel free to contact it at any time, call any time. We will love to answer the phone, and we'll talk to you, about your issue when you're having. I like to think that I'm pretty knowledgeable in most of the issues that will come up in terms of the technical problems that would come up, or if you have any questions on best practices. If I don't know the answer, I will go to PTC. I know many people at PTC who are experts in the field, and even some of the R&D developers in it that have hands-on experience with this type of stuff. So come to us first if you have any issues. If you prefer to go to PTC, by all means, that is their technical support number. You will need your service contract number, which you can find from inside Creo itself, or you can find on your order fulfillment letter, which is pretty standard with when you place a new order. However, I will show you how to open a case with PTC. So if you prefer to open a case online with PTC, you can do that. You have the option. So let me take you there. So this is the standard login screen you'll see when you get to PTC. So let's start from the home page, just so you have an idea of where I'm navigating to. So this is the PTC homepage, ptc.com. You can go to My Account and Customer Support Login. Now, if you don't have an account, you can create a new account by going down here and you can put in your customer information. But you can see I'm already logged in. So I'm going to go to the Support tab and the eSupport portal. Now, throughout this webinar, we'll be going here a lot, so it's best to get used to this page and see what is on here. So to open a ticket, you will go to Contact Support and open a case with technical support. So I'm going to walk you through this entire process. That way you know. I'm going to open a case with PTC here. Hopefully they'll contact me, but I'll set on low priority. So what product are you using? Let's say Creo Parametric. I know most of you are on Creo, but some of you have Windchill and other products. So just enter the product you're using there. And I can type in my problem, how to improve Creo performance. Just a short description of it. And then once we have this, it'll search the knowledge base and find out any related articles that may be of use to you. So you can go ahead and browse those. If it's not helpful to you, you can click here and proceed to opening a full case. Like I said, input your issue. You'll need your service contract number. Again, you can find that in Creo. A few other things you have to input is if it moderately impacts your business, what the severity is. So within, if you choose severity 1, they will contact you within, I've noticed, about a couple hours. Sometimes it could be a little longer than that. If you say moderately impacted, it's around 24 hours. And a general low impact question, it's 48 hours contact. So that's generally the rule of thumb, the timeline, although it can and obviously will vary depending on how busy they are. Now choose a few other things like your product release. These aren't very important, but it's good to kind of have them as accurate as possible. So we'll just choose core functionality. Once we have all this, we can open a case. And once the case is open, they will contact you based on your contact details. They'll email you or call you, most likely call you, and they will talk you through what issues you're having. Let's go on to the next one. We can talk more about that a little later too if you want more information on that. Let's see, where were we here? I'm sorry, I kind of got lost. Oh, let's resume slideshow. All right, next step. So e-learning. This is actually really big. PTC has been really pushing this recently. They've made it completely available to you if you have a subscription bundle. So you guys should all have access to this. This is really important to enable your new engineers and older engineers who want to learn new functionality. This is embedded inside of Creo itself. So it's context sensitive. So what does that mean? As you're going through your design and clicking buttons on the Creo screen, it'll automatically update the learning connector while you work. So let me show you what that looks like here. I have Creo open. I can pull it over. So let's just create a new part here, just a blank part. And as you see here on the top right, there's this little graduation hat. You can click that. That's the learning connector. Now this is one of my favorite parts about Creo. I love this because you really get a chance to learn more, and there's a lot of free tutorials on here. So for example, I just created a new part, and it already came up with recommended topics that you can do. These are all recommended topics that lead directly to the PTC University. It also looks at the Help Center and knowledge base. So let's say I want to look at freestyle, for example. It'll automatically update the learning connector with whatever button I chose. So there's recommended topics here. Let's go ahead and pick one. Let's say understand the freestyle tool. You'll have to log in. And once you log in, you'll get some free content here that PTC has put together that's essentially walkthrough tutorials. So it goes through all the introduction to the freestyle process, creating your freestyle surface models. Now there's how-to videos and how-to steps. So it'll walk you through how to do a full freestyle design. And there's a video on that as well. So you can have your engineers go in here and learn the freestyle tool. And this is completely accessible to you if you have the subscription bundle. If you do not, if you're on more perpetual licensing, you can purchase this under subscription model. I highly recommend it. It's a very great thing to use, really great place to enable your new engineers and to learn on some of these newer features inside of Creo. Okay? So that's the e-learning. The knowledge base is another place that I'll show you in a second. It's a great, it has a whole host of information that has been assembled from PTC, from the community. There's a lot of troubleshooting documents in here. There's best practice documents in here, so it's a really great place to learn some information that you've been trying to seek for a while and you just can't find by Googling around. Again, technical support should know all this, and this is what they frequently use to reference. I often go on here as well to get a better understanding of the product and how to solve some of my customers' issues. So let's see, what can we type in here for our knowledge base? Let's look at improve Creo performance. I looked this up before, and there's some pretty good articles in here. There's some stuff in here that talks about assembly regeneration. There's other little config.pro fixes you can do. So if we look at here, we see this everything tab. It shows everything from the community posts to help articles to reference documents. There's, you can see there's quite a bit of information here. So you can browse this for quite some time, but let's click on the first one, just kind of show you what it looks like. Now this is an article that PTC has put out themselves. It talks about all the config.pro options that you can set in order to improve the regeneration quality of your larger assemblies. So again, I know a lot of you work with large assemblies, so this could be a useful document to look at. Now there's a bunch of different knowledge-based materials that you can use to look up. So if you have a troubleshooting issue, you're getting some sort of error, or you want some best practice information, just try typing it into the technical support knowledge base and see what comes up. There might be a good article for you guys to access that's completely free to you and available to you. Now the public can't see this. You'll have to have a PTC account to access this. But I highly recommend using it if you want to learn some best practices or you just have a general question. Okay. So now we'll talk about the community. I'm on the community quite a bit. I actually ask a lot of questions on here as well because there's a lot of people who have been using this software and specific features of the software for quite some time. They're really much ingrained inside the community and they're very active and they're great people. I know some of these people personally as well, so I know they care about helping out fellow users that are new or experienced users who want best practice tips or looking for troubleshooting tips. It's a really great place to be actively involved, and I encourage you guys to also post in there as well if you have some experience in the certain areas of the community. Please, be active and post and help other members out, and hopefully you'll come back where you need some help as well. So the URL is here. Now all this is this entire session is being recorded. We will post this on our website after it's done. We will also release the presentation I have with all the embedded links into it. So I know I'm kind of clicking through those links. You can always look at the URL in the top left and kind of figure out from there where to go. But all the links will be embedded into the PDF we'll send you guys. This will all be recorded as well. So you can always go back if you want to show this to anyone else. So that will be available to you as well. So on the community, we'll go to the Creo page. And again, there's a whole bunch of different communities embedded into the Creo page, everything from manufacturing to doing advanced rendering to pipeline and cabling. You can look at the different apps inside of Creo, such as, obviously Parametric, Creo Illustrate, Creo Sketch, Creo Simulate. And from there, you can ask the community questions. So, again, you can ask anything from, if we just kind of look at the recent content, config.pro options list. Maybe there's something that you want to figure out how you can set a certain setting and configuration. Actually, we get that question quite a bit where, a customer will say, well, how do I set my configuration so the back color of my screen is blue? And that's a great question. It comes up a lot, and you can always obviously ask us. You can ask PTC, or you can ask the community. Some of these people in the community have a full list of system colors they have put together over the years that adjust all the colors inside of Creo to be more optimal to what they like in design. So, you know, the community has a great list of resources and people that are willing to help you out. I highly recommend using it if you have a general question that isn't pressing. So it's a good place to be. Also, MCAD Central, I want to bring this one up. This one's not sponsored by PTC or run by PTC. The other community is. So this one is run by PTC, but MCAD Central is not. However, I have found a lot of answers to my question here as well. It's another CAD Central forum area, mostly specializing in Creo, although there are some other products in here as well. So this is for more of the older users, the people who are used to Wildfire and beyond. So I found it more, some of it can still be a little bit outdated sometimes, so I don't use it as frequently, but I have found a lot of good information here as well. So I just want to make sure you're fully aware of all the different communities you guys can access and use, and we want to make sure you have everything at your tips of your fingers. So MCAD Central is pretty good as well. Okay, software management. Now this is for more of the IT personnel. However, you know, if you're kind of in charge of managing your software, or you're having licensing issues, or you want to reconfigure, you want to move one license or another license, this is a good slide for you as well. I'll kind of quickly run through this. So the first link takes you to the software downloads page. Let's go there. Now you can access this again from that eSupport portal. I'll just take you back there just so you can see, because this comes up quite a bit too. So from support and eSupport portal, we'll go down to, let's click on the Creo tab, and PTC software downloads. This will take you directly to that link I just pulled up. Now there's two main links here that you want to use: order or download software updates, or download software by sales order number. So in most cases, you're going to want to do order or download software updates, although in some cases, if you just want to put in your sales order number, you can, and I'll show all the software that you can download based on what you purchased, obviously. So if you click on order or download software updates, it'll take you to this page which shows you all the different product families. We'll click on Creo Parametric and Pro Engineer. And from there, you can choose what release. Now, the releases go all the way back to release 2001 to the early stages of Wildfire, which some of you are familiar with. Again, if you're more familiar with the Creo Wildfire or Wildfire 5.0, you can download that. You can use it. By all means, this is where you would download it. But Creo 3.0 is the latest one, so we'll go there. We just expand these till we get to the most recent date code, and you just download the 32-bit or 64-bit installation media. And from there, you'll run the setup.exe and just walk through the installer. So that is where you do, where you get your software. We're going to go back to the eSupport portal, and I'll show you how to reconfigure. So that's the next item on my agenda here, is reconfiguring. This is what you do when you want to move a license from one machine to another. As most of you know, the licenses are tied to your computer's physical address, your MAC address. So you can't simply just copy and paste your license onto a new computer and say go. You actually have to reconfigure it so that license knows you're on a different machine. So to do that, you go to the reconfigure section. Again, I have to log in here. Now you would move your licenses from a single server to a single server. I won't walk you through this entire process, but I'll kind of show you a little bit of it. You're going to choose your original machine, so the machine that you want to move your license from. You would choose that. I'll just choose mine. You will choose your products. So, you know, I'll click one at a random here. Scroll down, continue, and then you will choose the computer you're moving it to. So this is where you can enter the new MAC address, the CPU ID they call it, or you can browse to an existing machine that you have already have a license on. So that's how you'd reconfigure your software. I know on occasion this comes up. You want to move it to a new computer, so this is where you do it. Okay. Online tutorials. I've used these quite a bit as well when I was first starting to learn Creo, and I want to learn new features all the time. So these are great places to learn and get video tutorials on what you can do. So I love video tutorials. They're great for me. I know some of you prefer just a step-by-step guide, but for those of you that love video tutorials, it's a great place to go. It's called the Learning Exchange, so learningexchange.ptc.com. Now these are all videos either put out by PTC directly, by the R&D department from PTC, or these are videos that are created from actual users such as yourself. Now PTC does a vetting process where they will look at the video and then publish it, so there's not videos on here that have misleading information or wrong information. These are all looked at by PTC and then published. So there's a bunch of community members that love to post videos and kind of show how they do certain things. There's different product families such as Creo, Windchill. If you're doing some of the ThingWorks platform stuff, there's that as well. So let's go to Creo, for example. And we can see all the videos that are recent that have been put out. We can look at the most viewed videos, the most liked videos. But for example, if I want to learn more about sweeping, for example, I'll type in sweep here and hit search, and I'll look through all the videos that have some sort of sweep functionality in them. We can look at the most viewed, what's most relevant to us. As you can see, there's 12 results here, so not many, but a good amount still for just one function. So creating helical sweeps for springs. Now, 54,000 people have viewed this, so obviously it's a great video. I'm sure this comes up quite a bit. So you can watch this video. It's pretty short from what I remember, and it kind of steps you through the exact steps you need to create a helical sweep for a spring. So again, there's a whole bunch of different things you can do inside of the Learn Exchange. Great place to browse. There's always recent, new and updated content that's posted. So again, if you're just a nerd like me and you want to learn new stuff with Creo, by all means access this, and it's great to look at. Now, on occasion, we have customers asking us, well, how can we get our newer engineers up to speed, especially if they come from a different CAD software such as SolidWorks or even CATIA. How can we get our new engineers enabled to be able to use the software better? Is there a crash course, a free crash course we can give them to help them out? And of course there is. The e-learning is actually a great place for them to start as well. There's a lot of great basic modeling tips and tricks in there. But PTC has a help portal for newer engineers, or for people who want to get the fundamentals reviewed and back down. You can go to help.ptc.com, or again use the link that we provide, or this longer URL right here. But the help.ptc.com will take you directly to here. Okay, so from here, you can choose the product you're talking about. So Creo or Windchill. Well, in this case, we'll choose Creo. And then we'll choose Creo 3.0. This will launch up a large set of tutorials that you can use. What's new in Creo 3.0? I'm sure they're going to be releasing one for Creo 4.0 very shortly. This will show the fundamentals of Creo 3.0. Let's minimize this for now. Here's Creo tutorials as well. So basic beginner's tutorials. It'll do modeling a piston up to assembling a full assembly using that piston and all these different extrudes and rounds and holes and screws that you make. So and you can have your new engineers say, hey, walk through the fundamentals, walk through the introduction to Creo Parametric. It's a step-by-step guide. So everything from creating a new part to creating rounds, creating extrudes, and it goes all the way into MathCAD. And there's more fundamentals, how to manage your data, looking at design exploration, surfacing, a lot of great content in here. And this is all free. Just help.ptc.com. This is a great resource to use if you want to learn a new functionality, or it's for your new engineers. I know I keep repeating that, but I want to really express this is a great place to go to learn content if you want some free learning. Okay. So to kind of summarize what we went through there, we first looked at the trouble tickets. Now the first line of defense would be us. You can obviously go to PTC directly if you prefer, but you can come to us. I can open a ticket on your behalf. I'm pretty knowledgeable in licensing. I know licensing quite well. I know some of the basic error messages you get. I know some of the best practices. I know how to help set up your drawings and your config.pro settings and just do some basic administration work. Obviously, if it's a little longer, we can have a further discussion on how we can support you in terms of the long-term, bigger projects. E-learning is a great place for you guys to go to. It's completely accessible to most all of you. You most likely have a license if you're on subscription. A lot of customers don't know about that, so they don't use it, as from what we noticed. But when we show them e-learning, I think a lot of them like it. It's just great to have in the background, even if you're not using it. If you stumble upon something you can't figure out, you want a best practice, really try to have e-learning open and see what you can find there. Knowledge base is a great place to look at best practices, troubleshooting, tips and tricks. There's a whole host of information that's been assembled over years and years of working with Creo, not only from the community but from PTC themselves. And there's a lot of information there. The PTC community, great place to go. A lot of great people there who are actively involved in the community. I know people on there that post 10 times a day answering questions. There's manufacturing guys in there as well that are U.S. local time, that they get up and that's the first thing they do is they look at the community and they see how they can help other people out. So we have one of the largest communities out there for CAD software, and it's quite nice to see. It's good to see people actively involved. Software management, I know that comes up a lot too, so we wanted to kind of touch base on it in this webinar. You can reconfigure your license, and that's how you access new software where you can update or download. To update, all you simply do is get that installation media, launch the setup.exe, and just walk through the update steps. So it's pretty straightforward to do, not hard to do at all. If you're going from like Wildfire 5 to Creo 3.0, might be a little bit more tricky, but we can help you with that as well. And then online tutorials that are accessible to you and all your engineers that are working with you. So a lot of information, a lot of resources available to you that you guys can use at your fingertips right now. We just want to make sure you know of them, that you are enabled to use them. If you have trouble accessing them, feel free to contact me or PTC. We'd be glad to help you to make sure you guys are enabled to be very successful with your business. That concludes the webinar. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to ask. I think Hamed might want to make some closing statements, but that is all I have. So thank you very much for joining us. I really much appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks, Dustin. I appreciate that, and thank you all for joining us today. Dustin, we do have a few questions. I know we only have a couple minutes left, so we'll try to keep this quick. I'm glad that we were able to stay within the time, and I sincerely hope that everyone attending at least learned something new and something that will help you be more empowered in using your software with PTC. Dustin, one question was, what is the difference between the Gold, Gold Plus, and Platinum levels of support when customers have the option to purchase different variations when they're ordering their software?
Yes, so I know, so most of you will have the Gold level support, although we're asked, because it's seen before, there's different levels of support. Let me see, I think I have it open. Let me pull this up. Okay, so here's the different levels of support that we have. So now, this really varies on what your business use case is. So a platinum level support is for industries such as hospitals, people who need 24/7 access to support. Most of you will have gold level support, which is 24/5 access to the PTC technical support desk. Obviously, on-site support is not available. However, I show you this because I kind of want you to know that there are different levels of support that PTC can provide you. But on our end, from Tech-30, we are 24/7. We want to help you as much as we can. Don't hesitate to reach out and ask us for help. PTC has their different levels of support. We only have one level of support, and we want to make sure that you get as much as you possibly need. So never feel hesitant to reach out and talk to us. If there's best practice, if you want to be connected to someone else, if you're having troubleshooting issues, licensing issues, always feel free to talk to us. Now, the different levels of support you can purchase, obviously. They cost more, but it really depends on your business use case. So it might not be relevant to you, but it may be something you want to at least be knowledgeable of.
Okay, thank you. One more question. I think we got time for one more. Here we go. It's the question is, can I access, or do I have access to support if my license is not active? And I think what they mean is if their maintenance is not active.
So that's a good question. Unfortunately, if you contact PTC and you are off maintenance and off support, most of the time they will say we cannot help you because you're off support. Obviously, that's not the best, especially if you're running into an issue that's very critical and stopping your engineers from working. That's why support is pretty valuable. However, you can, by all means, you can still contact us. We can see if we can assist you. It is also our policy that if you're inactive, we prefer you to be active so we can support you. So that's kind of the reason why support's pretty important, especially if you have something that's business critical that stops your engineers from working. You want to make sure you have that level of help from PTC so they can get you back on track. So I wish I had a better answer for that other than, I really recommend support. We'll try to help you if we can. If it's something that's pretty simple to fix, we can. But if it's something that, is a little bit more extensive, then we'll have to have a different discussion on how to get you back on support and how to get you the help you need.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, everybody, again, thank you for your time. We will make this recording available to everybody, and as Dustin mentioned, you'll have access to the slides with the hyperlinks. I know he went through a lot of slides. I mean, that was just a ton of information, a short amount of time. We want to make sure we keep this concise, but I'm sure that you'll be able to revisit this as a resource moving forward. You have our email address right there, support@tech-30.com if you need anything. You can also reach us at our number, 949-234-8202. We look forward to supporting you. Thank you very much for your time. If there aren't any other last-minute questions, then we wish you the rest of a good day. Enjoy.